Well, Councillors, Your Worship, this is actually the third time I've had the pleasure of speaking to City Council about this project. I first addressed Council nearly 7 years ago on April 2nd, 2007. On that date, Brock introduced the notion of a collaborative venture that would move its School of Fine and Performing Arts to an integrated cluster in downtown St. Catharines that would also include a new city-owned Niagara Centre for the Arts, to which Brock would cede the performances and clientele of what is currently the Brock Centre of the Arts on the main campus. In Brock's case, MPP Jim Bradley recognized that this collaboration and its timing combined to create a unique opportunity to transform the urban core. And we are deeply appreciative to Minister Bradley's dogged enthusiasm that helped persuade the Ontario government to invest $26.2 million in the Brock side of the project. In a moment, my colleagues Brian Hutchings and Douglas Neal will provide detailed update on the project of 198 St. Paul Street. But let me close by reinforcing the fact that Brock University is proud to be a partner and supporter of the City of St. Catharines and indeed of Niagara. The university was created because of the activism of the people of Niagara. And for years now, Brock has publicly stated, and most recently so in our strategic mandate agreement proposal to the Ontario government, that one of our very top priorities is to help strengthen our host communities intellectually, socially, economically, and culturally. There is probably no more visible single example of Brock's community outreach than the project that we are engaged in now, 198 St. Paul. And it will have, we believe, a profound effect on the downtown core. It will bring 500 students and their faculty and staff to the new site. And when all is done, all of the current activity and performances and audiences of the Brock Centre of the Arts will also be transferred, as it were, to your Arts Centre. And between those audiences and our students, faculty, and staff, we together will truly revitalize the downtown core of the city. And now I'll pass the podium over to Brian Hutchings, our Vice President, Finance and Administration.
It's all right. Douglas is coming up after. I'm fine. Yeah. Thank you, Jack. I guess I'm going to cut through a lot of my speaking notes because Jack has said them so well. It's probably what the media want to hear, and everything else is the boring guy in the middle between two great speakers. I'm going to say we're on time, 50% done, and we're on budget. That's great. So good news coming to St. Catharines, and the project is being delivered. The old part of the building, the original haircloth building, the first floor will have teaching. The second floor will have teaching in a library. The third floor will have offices for our faculty and grad students. Fourth floor will have visual arts programs on there. And the very, very fifth floor, right at the very top, right over here, a quarter of the floor, will be a faculty lounge, as well as scenography will be in there. The next middle building, that is the old warehouse, will have circulation for washrooms and where people can gather before they go into the theater, 285-person theater, as well as 4 dramatic arts studios in there as well. And the last building at the end is the stage house, which again will have the 285 room theater in it. The next slide shows the inside. We're trying to keep the heritage of the building. You see the natural wood and the pillars. The pillars in this picture are covered up, so the paints and what have you are preserved, as well as we're preserving the masonry you can see in the wall, and the things hanging down from the ceiling are actually noise dampening mechanisms that will, the windows are being kept intact, as well as the noise dampening and the floor and what have you. The next picture shows the stage house, which is the theater. On the walls will be brick, the steel will be holding brick, which will be red brick, Brock red brick, as well as that is the face of the 406, which people will see coming along the 406 will be well done. You'll see later in the picture. The next slide shows looking down into that theater. In the back warehouse, which will also, as I said, mentioned earlier, will house much of our costumes in our warehouse for various things, our staging and our costumes and our wardrobe. Last but not least, there are 2 more slides. This is a very interesting slide. We've raised the roof in the building, or the ceilings in the building, by approximately 2 feet, as well as broaden the joists and many of the pillars to make it more open for students in the older building and what have you, because it's a very narrow building and making it much wider, and much engineering is going on to create some of the diamond trusses and some of the architectural features moving forth. And lastly, this is on the 4th floor of the building, showing the old elevator and some of the loading coming in and out of that building. So I'll turn it over to my colleague. Jack's talked about the currents. I've talked about the present, that we're on time and on budget, and Douglas is going to talk about the future.
Thank you very much, Your Worship, members of council. Let me begin by noting that the person who made the video at the beginning is one of our own graduates, Tracy Van Oosten, who did a combined honors degree in visual arts and film studies at Brock, and is now pursuing her Master of Fine Arts at Concordia University in Montreal. It's a very moving piece, is it not? Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. All right, what you're looking at on screen, and I'm going to follow it here on the monitor in front of me, is what I like to call the perfect metaphor for St. Catharines' industrial past and her post-industrial future. We are taking a 19th century textile factory in the heart of the city, 400 meters from where I'm standing right now, and turning it into a state-of-the-art facility for more than 500 Brock University students in dramatic arts, music, visual arts, and studies in arts and culture. We're taking what William Blake in the 19th century would have called the dark satanic mills of industrialization and giving them a rebirth as an engine of education and creativity for future generations in the multi-billion-dollar cultural sector in Canada. Opportunities such as this come along once in a lifetime. The impact of Brock's new presence in the cultural landscape of urban St. Catharines will be felt for years to come, enriching the life of our city and greatly enriching the education of our students. Now, Brian Hutchings has gone through what the building is going to hold. Let me just very quickly recap some of those things and just emphasize 1 or 2 points. If you look on the screen, starting at the left-hand end, the oldest part of the building, the 19th century factory itself, 5 levels. And from the top going down, we have the theater design studio, painting and drawing studios, framing shop, art supply store, the administrative faculty staff offices, the library and computer commons seminar rooms, and on the ground level, a suite of music practice rooms offering both individual and group instruction. And I want to just say something. Those music practice rooms are very interesting because we are building them to a very high level of what in the industry is called acoustic isolation. What that means basically is it's a box within a box design having certain features. Double stud construction, triple acoustic gypsum on all sides, floating ceilings, that's my favorite, floating ceilings with double deflection neoprene spring hangers, and relative humidity, 40% to improve vocal performance and also to help with the storage of valuable instruments. And on the outside of the building facing south, triple glazed insulated fiberglass windows for maximum acoustic isolation from the exterior. It's really quite astonishing. And moving forward, I'll skip over the middle part that Brian has covered, but I just want to draw your attention to the far right end in this image, the part that sticks out perpendicular to the building. Very exciting. It's our own theater, a new 235-seat theater where Brock's main stage productions will be produced along with student theatricals. And adjoining that, there will be a green room, woodwork, scene shop, costume shop. There will be also a reception area on the ground floor, an art gallery for a curated exhibition, right from the west all the way to the east. It's hugely exciting. That's a very brief overview. The best of both worlds, as Brian Hutchings said, maintaining the historical character of the building, but introducing the latest in instructional technology and performance design. And the icing on the cake will be the opportunity for Brock University students to have access on a daily basis to the recital hall in the Performing Arts Center, where they will be able to practice and perform. And in addition, the film theater in the PAC will be our school's main lecture hall by day. To coin a phrase, it is a win-win for town and gown. Your Worship, thank you very much. Thank you, members of council, for the opportunity to address you.
Thank you to all three presenters. Are there any questions at all? Okay, seeing none. Let me just add my thanks to all three of you, but in particular to Dr. Lightstone. I do remember that presentation in April of 2007, as do most members of City Council, and the vision and the passion that you brought to this project, I think, is one of the reasons why it has succeeded. And I know that we're all very excited about the next few months ahead as we move towards opening both for the new Performing Arts Center, the spectator facility, and the Marilyn I. Walker School. It will truly be a transformative project, as was mentioned, and we thank you very much for it. It's a true partnership, and we're going to continue to work as partners for many, many years to come. Thanks again. Appreciate that. We do need a motion to receive the presentation then. Councillor Elliott, Councillor Stack, all in favor? Opposed? That's carried. Thank you.